This is where love gets honest. We've been searching through the noise, trying to hear our hearts speak clear. Yeah, dating with intention now, letting go of fear. Learn to love me first, yeah. Healing all my scars. Now I'm showing up whole, knowing who you are. No more settling for less. I choose truth, I choose me. If it's real, let it grow. If it's fake, let it be. Affirm the real. Love that heals. Love you can feel. We speak life. Yeah, we reveal. Hearts align. This love is real. Affirm the real. Love starts here.
Good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Affirm the Real. I'm one of your hosts, Marcus Goodwin. We're just gonna wait a couple of minutes. Don will be joining us pretty soon. Before we get started today, I always want you to remember, Affirm the Real is about positivity. We always are sharing our experiences, our thoughts, and our opinions. We're not therapists. We just people who live through some things and just want to share our thoughts and how we perceive things. That's all. And we encourage anybody and everybody out there to do the same. This is an open platform, open dialogue. This is where we, express our real and our truths. We preach about transparency and trying to move forward in our everyday life, either through our dating or through our relationships. With that being said, I want to discuss tonight something called the 333 rule. And this is something, it's a fresh take, I would say, on dating. You know, I'm not in the dating scene, but something of that nature, I would I would love to have kind of ran across this when I was dating. It's a kind of fresh look, and I want to kind of discuss it, how it affects today, how it would with my current mindset, how I look at it. You know, we're talking about the 333. There are different versions of it, but the basic version is 3 dates, 3 weeks, 3 months. Yeah, babe, you never heard of it? Yeah, basically it's a form of a check-in. I would invite everybody to go like to YouTube, and just type in the 3-3-3 dating rule, and you'll see it come up. You know, because we want to always dig in and get to the transparency. We want to get past the get past the facade. You know, we haven't used this word in a while. Get past the representative, and sometimes that takes time. You know, how they say, always put your best foot forward. You never have a second chance to make a first impression. And but that's the thing. I don't always want to see or need your best foot. I want to see how you stand. Do you stand up tall? Do you slouch? How do you come? And I'm not just talking physically. I'm talking about mentally, spiritually, emotionally. You know, and by doing these series of check-ins, when I mean by check-ins, I'm not talking check-ins with the other person necessarily. I'm looking at check-ins with yourself and how you perceive in this relationship. You know, we talked about let's getting past this not the fluff, the endorphin stage, I guess the dopamine stage, you know, the newness of it. How does it look after everything is settled? If you're one of people who falls in love quick after a couple of "Hey Queen" texts, this might be good for you as we get ready to discuss this. you know. So please, as you sit back and enjoy this conversation, go ahead, tell a friend to join us as we get deep into this. All right. So the first one is 3 dates. Hold, I think our co-host is about to come on in. Well, I got a brick wall.
Hold on, man. I gotta fix my camera here. Oh,
Well,
this
take over
thing.
for now. Bye bye. All right. The 3 dates. But before we go into 3 dates, I seen something on YouTube, and the lady said, "How about 3 pointed contacts before you get to the date?" I said, I said, "Ma'am, tell me more." As I was talking to my screen, how about like at least 3 conversations, maybe three, or maybe three video chats. You know, two phone calls and a text, not just a hi, hey, how you doing text, maybe something like that. And what that'll do is alleviate waste of time. You know. So how you doing, Don? How you doing? How you doing?
I'm here, sir.
All right.
Rough evening, but I'm here. I'm here.
Hey,
Yeah,
that's all right. When you have rough evening, put your pinky out and drink, have a drink.
indeed, sir.
So Don, tonight we're talking about the 3-3-3 rule.
Yes.
3 dates, 3 weeks, 3 months.
Hmm. Okay.
You know. So Don, and I know you're single, this might have a good look on how you may. I might interested in how you think about this. 3 dates. So let's think about when we go on a date with somebody.
Hmm.
You know, we if you're doing this intentionally, you're trying to find out about this person.
Yeah.
And per se is maybe like an interview, but we don't want to scare nobody off with a series of in-depth questions. Sometimes, that could be, we know as guys, that could be a turn off. You know, and that so what we with the 3 dates, maybe we listen, we feeling for the vibe. Maybe we gotta see if we even vibing right now.
Okay.
And as we ask these questions, don't get it wrong. I'm not saying don't ask these questions.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't want you to shoot off. Bam, kids. Bam, ambition. Bam, family. Bam, baby mama. Bam, what's your retirement plan? Bam, what's your credit score? We try. Those are some of the things that we try, let ease in. We have some good time with and see the vibe. Maybe this way we can maybe see if your personality even matches with mine.
Of
Because
course.
yeah, our humor may be different, and you may not be able to get my jokes, or for maybe I need to understand you. Maybe you gotta when I'm resting faces. We gotta see how we vibe on this.
Of course. Of course.
So, until this conversation came up, was you ever familiar with the 3-3-3 dating rule?
Not in that aspect of what you're labeling it as. I guess my experience would be based on a couple of dates. How are we vibing? How are we feeling about each other? Couple of months. Where are we taking this? Where are we headed? Uh, so the 3-3-3 dating rule. I don't know if this is something modern or something new, but
Everything's modern
back
and
in
new.
my back in my when I was before I was in a relationship, and now that I'm back single, this is something I never heard of. So it's very unique as to how it applies to the power of three, right?
Yeah. Well, let's think about it. We have only but so much we can do on one single date.
Hmm.
The second date, we feeling each other out more. We trying to understand. You know, is also a pause to say, "Hey, I know this is new and fresh. let's enjoy on the 3 days. We're going to enjoy the moment. In my opinion, maybe just get some of the basic questions out the way and just see how everything flows.
Yeah. Yes.
You know, for instance, right now, at this mindset you have right now. What are three things you're looking for in your first 3 dates?
Uh, Compatibility, um, transparency, and just understanding.
Right. And do you think you could ascertain all three of those every time in 3 dates?
No, no, because people put on their pretend personality. 3 dates, you can pretend to be anybody you want to be, but beyond those 3 dates, if we're talking about 3 weeks, 3 months, you can then gradually see the person as who they really are. Because I can fake it for 3 dates. Yeah, put on a suit every time we go out, right? But I ain't wearing no suit beyond that.
Right. Uh, Another thing that we think about it, we also thinking about sustainability.
Yeah.
I'm going to, the front man is going on three extravagant dates.
Hmm.
Is that sustainable?
You bring up a good question because this is something that I'm having to understand for myself. I can go out on a date and have a nice evening, whether it be drinks or conversation or a meal or doing something with a walk in the park. Now, the sustainability comes into play when a person doesn't have a normal routine of schedule. I work weekends, crazy hours. When people have Monday through Friday schedules, mine doesn't work like that right now. It ebbs and flows. So when someone has weekend time, I'm at work all day, and when I get off, I'm ready to go home and just relax for the evening. I'm not trying to hang out for another 3, 4 hours. And not only that, I've been talking on the phone for 7 hours straight. I don't. Sometimes I don't want to be in a mood for another conversation. That could have plays into the sustainability because people want to communicate, and you have to be able to communicate. And if you can't, they're gonna think that you're brushing them off or you're not interested. Sometimes that's not the case.
Well, transparency is a work. All right.
Hmm.
Then okay. So now I'm gonna look at it from the other angle. Let's talk about it from now the person that you're the potential um I don't know the word. You trying to chase it. So
Yeah, of course. The
she
opposite
yeah,
sex.
yeah. You now you're looking at you like, oh, so she's like, I understand or I get it. We can do this. We can wait. We can go on no date this and that. We can just go with this, and another for the first few times.
Yeah.
So now let's fast forward. And when I say 3 weeks per se, in my mind, 3 dates and then you got a 3 week check in. Come, let's be real. Nothing is that damn precise.
Hmm.
It could be 4 weeks. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Who can do like fuck? I ain't gonna lie. 3 dates and 3 dates. That's like that may be a, a 3 week period right there, or maybe and especially initial a new date, a new person. 3 days could be 3 different weeks. 1 week, next week, you know.
Hmm.
But also it shows the effort. What are you trying to do? How often are you dating these 3 dates? What is this effort you're showing?
Hmm.
You okay? So I'm gonna get to 3 weeks in a moment, but something you said will make me as a the person that was being pursued, like make me wonder a little bit.
Hmm. Okay.
You were saying, you were crazy hours and you on the phone, this and this or the other, and I could understand that. But if you are really into me,
Hmm.
what are you trying to do for me? Not as in anything monetary. What are you trying to do to show me that you really want to pursue me?
Yeah.
And sometimes pursuit can be a, sh- a show of sacrifice. You
Mm.
said I'll get off and don't want maybe 4 hours. Cool. Maybe get off. Hey, lady, my schedule's hectic. Let's go meet up at Starbucks. Let's go get some ice cream. I just want to spend a little time with you. You know, my schedule's hectic, but I want to
Mhm.
show you I'm intentional about possibly pursuing you. I'm intentional about knowing who you are and what our compatibility factor is. Because guess what? By you not taking that little bit of time,
Mhm.
it can give that scat cat and another man could say here kitty kitty type of vibe.
True. You're so true. You gotta make the initiative to show the interest, and then you let the other person determine how they want to accept that, if they want to understand your approach to this 333 dating rule.
Right. Because let's be real. If you can't show me three things or show me that initiative in the
Mhm.
first three dates, when shit get real, it ain't gonna show up then either.
Yeah, so true.
So I'm not playing downer or nothing like that. But the thing about it is the honesty part is you being transparent. This is
Hmm.
how I feel. This is the mindset I'm in.
Hmm.
You can rock with this, or maybe later on, if you're still available, we could try this again. If she's
Yeah.
not willing to accept those terms,
Yes, of course. Correct.
yeah. Because let's honestly, I met my wife with me being on the road a lot, and she accepted that. But it came with, and it still has to be certain things she accept. Well, I accept you to be on the road. This what you got to do while you're on the road
Hmm.
to satisfy my needs. That what she said to me, and so many things like, okay, you on the road, then you got this amount of time to spend. You got to spend this amount of time on the phone. When you get off, it's our time for us to be on the phone. Nothing
Yeah.
a quick hi bye, because I'm a man of very few words sometimes. But we do have to catch up, and we have to see how the day's going. We have to give those that time for each other.
Agreed. Agreed.
You know, three's a powerful number. I heard things like I have to get we have to spend 3 moments a day together. Then we have to spend 3 dates a month together. And every 3 years we have to take a major trip together with no kids. Things like that. So three is a common number to use in common things and
Hmm.
take advantage of it. Three is just a number that we can transform.
Of course.
So now we get to the 3 week stage. This is another check-in. This is what we all doing. We checking in. Let's check in with let's get in. Now we checking in with ourselves. Is this person being consistent, still being true to how they was day one? Are they still planning?
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And honestly, this is what we have to look for. This is what the 3 week part is to check it in, not necessarily with the other person, but more so with yourself and seeing how you're aligning. Because by this time we still got them dopamines going. Possibility. I don't know how ever you might have hit a couple of times, bang bang. You know, you know.
Yeah, because if you interject intimacy into those 3 weeks, you pretty much have made a nonverbal commitment as to the exclusivity or the sensitivity of the possibility of a relationship. And if you try to back away from that, you're sending mixed emotions. You're sending mixed signals. That could be very detrimental at that point.
Right. You know, because
Yeah.
we how many times in your I almost said I won't give a number. Have you ever had a situation where you was chasing a female and or somebody, and as it said, you got the draws.
Okay, Tommy.
Yeah, and you know what I'm saying. And after that, it's like, I don't want to be bothered with you no more. It ain't the same.
That was definitely a time in my younger years when why buy the cow when you got the milk for free, right? Things are like that. That's just comes to a mindset of not understanding maturity as you grow older. You can't do those same things and expect for a different outcome. We're on the other side of 50. We have to think different. We have to do things in a different limelight.
We do. But what I'm getting at, one reason I say that is because after you take the physicality out of it, what's left?
The communication. You have to have a connection verbally in order to sustain that. If you never establish the verbal connection, then you just effing. You know what I mean?
And I'm not saying a verbal connection, but I really agree with your connection. If the physicality is gone, the connection is left. If there was no connection,
Hmm.
there's nothing left.
Exactly.
And this is why we checking in. What is now that we getting some of this physical stuff out the way and some of this, okay, ooh, all right. Now not to be funny. Now I don't seen you with the bonnet. Well, we get to that stage.
You knock the rust off, knock the dust out of it.
Yeah, you know, but when that 3 week time frame, I need to really start seeing if there is any cracks
Mm,
in this front,
okay.
as if you're putting the front on. Its
Okay.
representative is stepping back, and the real person is coming forward.
Hmm.
You really, this is what we start seeing. Or okay, we might as well we might have missed it in the first 3 dates. Any red flags, but after 3 weeks, something should start popping off. If there is something, is this aligning? We have to. This is, and I say, like I said, the 3 weeks, but we got to find out is this going to be sustainable? This is when we start looking, because
Hmm.
now we just in 3 weeks we still having fun.
Yeah.
We still going to do some putt golf shit.
Yeah.
You know, but the conversations are really there. In
Hmm.
that month time frame, we should be digging into some conversations.
Hmm.
You know, we need to start addressing certain line elephants in the room
Okay.
as as we progress to the next phase. You know, and that by the time you get that next phase, you really need to start analyzing. But with second phase, yeah, still you still having fun, but you you better but you can't have your blinders on.
No, you can't. You have to be aware and cognizant of what a person may be doing that may bothering you. And as you said, we're not putting a time frame, but you are going to want to bring up a conversation in which you talk about indifferences, things that you may see that the other person may be doing just subconsciously and not aware that it could be affecting you, the person. And if it's affecting you enough, you need to address it, bring it to the forefront of the conversation.
Yeah, that is a valuable point. That's a valuable point and a valid point. But I like the part about the subconscious
Hmm.
because as that front man starts falling to the back, subconsciously, you're gonna be doing the stuff that you always been doing that you might have been trying to hide. And if you keeping these blinders on for the last month, you're gonna miss it. Then
Yeah.
when they do show up and you start talking about that was a waste of my time.
Mm.
It was no, well, anything prior to that in that month, yeah, that might be a waste of time. But anything after that, because you had your blinders on,
You
you wasted
accept
your time, but it was your fault.
you accepted it. You went
Right.
along with it.
We're not trying to say, we're not saying don't have fun and just investigate. You need to, in which I'm even my everyday life, I'm bad at it, but you need to keep your awareness. You know, like for instance, you're dating Don. You're date you, and one thing that we always gonna look for as men. I wonder if she crazy or not. You always want to look for a little indicators. She's so she's so everything's good about it. Is she crazy?
Yeah, you do bring a point. That it's always an inkling of thought. Not just she crazy. It's more of what is her personality like when the shit hit the fan, right? Can this person sustain through a stressful situation, and will they be able to think clearly? Some people panic in the instance of a fire, right? They don't know what to do. They just freak out and let go of the wheel and go crazy. The others can think calmly in those times and not allow the pressure break them, because pressure, you can bust a pipe or you can create diamonds. So if you can remain calm under pressure, you can have a beautiful diamond in the end.
Exactly. You know, another thing I just thought about in that month time frame. Guess what? Also, you'll start picking up on
What's that?
what kind of a role that she wants you to have in her life.
Mm,
If y'all moving that way, how do you move? How does she want you to move in her life? Do she want a more masculine? She want a more just father figure type, or does she want a gender role based type person? Do she want the things like that? You really could start seeing what she's expecting of you.
yes. And one of the things we're speaking here about masculine roles or gender type is the fact that in that situation, I'm thinking it through, I'm gonna come in as a male figure. That's all I can do. And what I have to understand is the level of masculinity that I have to display. Because for some, it can be too much overpower if I come on too strong, showing too much aggression. And then for others, they may need someone who's more vulnerable, who can open up and be less authoritative in certain situations. And this is something that I've come to understand in my journey.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, you're gonna come in this door, bam, I'm done.
Hmm.
This is how I operate, this is how I walk in the room. This is how I show up. This is what I do every day. This is who I am.
Hmm.
Now, uh, is this gonna suit us? You know,
Yeah.
and in this time frame, it's a strong possibility that you are, well, I won't say you, but the people in this pursuit are being pursued by others. In that 3 weeks or that month, we ain't necessarily, unless we talked about it, you ain't necessarily pushed A, B, and C behind because
Hmm.
she getting a D. You see what I'm saying?
That's something I learned a long time ago. I learned that in teenage years, sir. So and for me, I will say at this stage in life, it's no longer a competition. If I am pursuing someone as I'm trying to date, as I'm presenting myself, I'm giving her the understanding of what my options are. If she then decides to still try to just flip a coin of A and B, and if we have a discussion and that is talked about, then I'm gonna bow out because I don't need to try to be in a competition. And that person needs to understand that. I'm not trying to compete with another guy. If you hitting him while you hitting me, then I'm gonna bow out. You can keep hitting him. I don't need to share.
Right. And so let's talk about now. Guess what? That conversation it has transitioned to the 3 month stage
Mm,
where we having these conversations.
yeah.
Hey, what are we doing? We've been going out for months on the phone.
Hmm.
Let's talk about it. Are we exclusive?
Yes.
Is that are we talking now? Let's not assume nothing.
Let's clear the air because I
Yeah.
done brought the PlayStation over. I done left socks over and toothbrush. Anybody using my stuff? Yeah, you're right. Let's clear the air, and then at that point, you can then decide, hey, I would like to pursue this exclusive, as Marcus said, or you could be like, hey, I was enjoying the ride, so I'm gonna exit right here and continue hitting the other chick that I had lined up too, because I want to be a player. Some people think like that, but that conversation has to be had at that point, right? You have to be able to pin the tail on a donkey at some point. No sharing, man. You're right.
Hey,
No sharing. No sharing.
hey,
Yeah.
baby mess with me all night. You didn't catch the word other one we talking about when I used the word ascertain and I use
Oh,
and I actually used
see it. Okay. Ascertain.
and I actually used it in the proper sentence.
That's good job, Marcus. Good job, there,
Yeah,
sir.
I'm practicing.
Yeah. Yeah. Ain't no sharing, man. Shoot.
Oh, she got she going in. She finger popping out, buddy.
Okay. Okay. Let's get it snapping.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Marcus just gave me a key
Yeah.
to his heart, to his home.
To the home. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, she got that key fairly early.
that's good though, man, because you see something, you pursued it, and you make a defining move. Don't need to wait around, man. What are we waiting on, right?
you know,
What are we waiting
and this is why this 333 is not for everybody.
on? Hmm.
This is just a new age time frame, a way of putting something in the time frame. It's really hitting checkpoints.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, how fast you get there is how fast you get there. You hit if you get all these checkpoints in a week and it works, bam. These are things. This is just some. Sometimes you need to people need to slow down, or some people need to put things in a different perspective. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's not these not hard set rules. This is what you should do here. This is what you do here, and this is what you do here. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
We don't never to subscribe to the set in stone.
Exactly.
Hell, even stones get eroded through water, erosion, whatever. Even stones break down. So nothing's ever. If it's set in stone, don't means it's forever. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
You know when we now we talk about the next stage. We say the 3 month stage, whatever that stage is. Hey, what are we doing? Are we exclusive? You talking about leaving PlayStation? Hell, I ain't leaving PlayStations up there until I know we exclusive.
Till I get a
Yeah,
key. Till I get a key.
or something. You know what I'm saying? You come over there with a whole nother nigga profile on it on your PlayStation.
Ain't
Who,
getting
who the
no
fuck?
key.
Who the fuck is Jack?
I know, right? Jack Ripper Man 219. Who the hell? But
Yeah,
anyway,
on your game, and
yeah,
now you ready to fight. Your pride hurt because you thinking you the only one, you know, over there. No, She don't eat cereal, but you got Cocoa Puffs and Fruity Pebbles, and you don't like Fruity Pebbles. Something ain't right.
The
That's
mailman
because the
delivered.
conversation wasn't had.
Exactly. You're right.
You know, it should be one brand of cereal over there. By that time, y'all saying, "Hey, we exclusive."
He said one brand of cereal.
Damn right.
Tell that mailman don't be delivering no mail on Sundays. Ain't no mail run on Sundays. What are you doing over
Well, Amazon be doing that shit, so I can't even fault that now.
I said the mailman. The mailman
They
don't deliver on
do.
mailman don't deliver on Sundays.
No. Amazon had a U.S. mail. He's had a U.S. mail delivering packages on Sundays.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, no, I don't mean to get off
Man,
track real quick, but one time I
about
thought,
an hour. It take about an hour to deliver that package.
man, I don't know. And when I first saw it years ago, I thought
Yeah.
they was casing. I thought it was casing the neighborhood. That's what I ain't never seen no mailman working on Sunday. Then I figured out what it was.
Yeah, he's
But
coming over there. Yeah, he
yeah,
coming over
anyway,
there. That's what it was. Yeah. Playing your PlayStation.
yeah. But the other thing, because these conversations need to happen. Because by this time, you need to understand what it then also what does exclusivity look like? Is it we just we good in public, by this time, or you still allowed to have talk to these people or not talk to these people? These are things that got to be addressed. Are we moving in the same basically are we moving in the same direction?
Yes. Are we becoming one? And we need to understand that exclusivity for me and the person that I would be pursuing means that you got to cut all those other conversations out. No, I'm not going to go through a person's phone and say delete all this, but the conversations beyond what me and that person is having is going to be just exclusive between us. So if you still just got some hanger-ons, I mean, they may not call week or two, but when they do call, you gotta let them know, hey,
See, and this is going to be established, because there are probably people out there saying, "Yeah, we you boyfriend girlfriend. I can still talk to them. We ain't doing nothing." But this is what I'm saying. We gotta see when they head same direction.
yeah,
We and even just beyond boyfriend girlfriend or whatever you want to call it, we need to start seeing what's our next steps. Are we still trying to achieve the same life goals?
mhm,
Because like I said, our age, shit, we looking at we double dribbling 50. Boom, boom. And there are people who playing around at our age, like they gonna still be 100 trying to go and do party and stuff. Well, no, they ain't happening, brother.
you ain't moving like that.
You know, and they are don't come to my I shoulda, coulda, shoulda, woulda
Mhm.
when when your back is out and, you door dash your food, but your ass can't make it to the door to get your hamburger. You know what I'm saying? Don't
No,
think about or even this one right here. She's a good woman, and you jealous because somebody else picked that good woman up, and you looking all ugly in the face.
mm, wow,
You know, there's been times that we all said, "Yeah, I screwed that one up. I should," because he wasn't ready.
yeah.
Shit.
The fish can slip out your hands, on occasions, but if it's something that continues to happen over and over again, you need to check your hands because apparently you got some butter hands, butterfingers, whatever they call it back in the day. Yeah.
Well, so let me ask you this, Don. And when you after this 3 month period, what are you looking at this potential person and saying, what are you trying to see? What are you trying to ask? What are you in your mind? What's going on? Like, shh, hey, babe, it's been 3 months. We need to have a good discussion, or I need to check in with myself. Is this really because who I want to be?
Yeah.
Because by this time, we ain't just focused on physical.
No,
That don't settled.
no. We're not dating just for connection. We're dating for peace, clarity, and alignment.
Ooh,
We need to go forward in the same direction. And what I mean by that is if we're going to be exclusive and we're going to being this for the long game, we have to decide how we will combine households. We're talking about living arrangements now, right? It may not happen after 3 months, but you have to plan toward what will happen in the future. Maybe leases that be in fact, you might have to wait 6, 9, 12 months. But this is what we plan. So when this situation happens, hey, my lease is up in 6 months. We can decide, we want to get a bigger place together, right? Your lease is up too. How are we going to proceed to move in alignment? Because now it becomes emotional attachment, it becomes financial responsibilities of both parties. Now,
Ooh.
some people don't want to live together prior to
Mm-hmm.
engagement, and that's understandable because that's part of the conversation you will have living up 23, 3, and 3. But those are those that want to sometimes be closer to their loved one, and then they plan how they will proceed their future. So it's not again, like you said, it's not written in stone. It's how you approach the situation.
Right. Something you said that another thing that we should be trying to figure out at this time, at that stage.
Mhm.
You said financial.
Yeah,
Are we the place financially where we can, I'm not saying combine money, but I can see how you operate with money. You can see how I operate with money, how
mhm,
you react to the situation, how I react to the situation. Are you
yeah.
paying your bills? Am I paying my bills? You know, we also
Or
we also understanding
yeah,
how, hey, this is how we can move on dates. This is how we can go on trips.
oh
This is
yeah,
how
yes,
we need to be able to say, okay, we should have a deep level. I don't know if I say deep. I'm still on the fence on it, but we should have a level of, no.
for
We should have a
for
big
financial literacy. That's
or of transparency.
yeah. You're right. Transparency is the word because some people can be financially literate, but not in depth to say, I want to invest all my money into the stock market or to Bitcoin or whatever. And someone else could be into that, and you allow, if you trust their judgment, for them to take that lead in that area, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one may be better at managing money for budgeting for future events like trips or family events, and you allow them to take the lead in that area. Not someone just going to say, "Okay, I'm good at it." Then next you know they buying another pair of shoes and purses, coach purses. You're like, "What you do with that money I just gave you?" Well, I just spent it on a coach purse. And you're like, "Wow, shit, we already in trouble. It ain't been 3 months."
Yeah, see, now we knowing, like, okay, this is a, so we already found your pet peeve and trigger.
Yeah. Oh, that's just one. But anyway, yeah, you're right because that's very important. When you're younger, you kind of get away with things. Like you said, the fish slip out the hand. But no, we said we dribbling 50. You got to be able to hit the marks because you only get one shot at this point. You 20, 30, you can keep trying. But no, you got one shot. We got to make this thing right because another 5 or 10 years, we just killed trying to figure out if we're compatible. No, we don't have that time to waste. This compatibility has to be met up first. You know what I mean?
the, har- the hardcore healing opinion coach said, "No coach bag, ladies." So anybody out there trying to date Don, don't you come up there with a coach bag on the first
I
date.
did not say that. The clarity is if we are planning financially for exclusivity, we have to understand what the priorities are. We definitely going to get a coach back. If that's what you want, I'm gonna make sure you get it. It's not the first thing though. It's not the first thing you're trying to obtain. That can be something that can be get at a later time.
He's-
Because I want them Jordans, I ain't got them yet. I've been wanting them Jordans since I was 7. My mom said you ain't getting them, so still waiting on them pair.
Whatever, you gonna get them. You gonna get them Jordans.
Nah, nah. But again, financial stability. If you are making financial ends, you can afford to have a little self gratification. But it should not be something that's done on a weekly basis. You don't have to have 15 purses. A man doesn't have to have. Well, I'm not going to say he doesn't have to have, or she doesn't have to have. You have to align your priorities because if you are at a medium income, you can't spend more on finances going out of the house than what's coming in, right? You got to have a means of understanding. If we're going to buy a house in the future, one bag compared to buying 10 bags, right?
Right.
One pair of shoes versus buying them every week when they come out. Now, if you're a millionaire, you balling and you just, hit the lotto, do what you want to do, man. I can't tell you. I can't tell you.
We'll see. We'll see. The hardcore healing pain coach said this time.
No coach bag, ladies.
Yeah, she said, "You can get it, ladies. You just know y'all going on vacay. Save it for the beach.
For the
All right,
beach. He's like, I'll buy it this time, but
all right." So,
Christmas, holidays, birthday, yeah, you can get that back.
but you know something though, in this time frame, this first 3 months, you could really tell how the potential other person is spending their money,
Yeah,
and in this 3 months, you know how you have an idea how much revenue is coming in. And if you're exclusive, if you say, hey, this is 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, and we are at this stage, we're going to be exclusive, you want to know, okay, how are we spending? Are we really doing this, or are you wasting, because you could tell there should be a level of transparency of how much revenue is coming in on both sides and what's
yeah,
expected. This is the key word, what's expected for you to do and what's expected for me to do. Because by this time, we need to know, what are you looking for? Me being the person, the man, I say, what do you expect? What do you expect me to be in this relationship? If we're pursuing this as a relationship, what are you expecting me?
yeah,
What am you know? Are you saying not a relationship? I'm supposed to come on and take care of all this, and now that free you up for this? This may not be what I'm signing up for. I need to
yeah.
know this.
I don't want to just pay all the bills and you get to spend your money, how you want, and I'm sitting here asking you for $20. That's no.
But and that's nothing in that time frame. You should be able to see
Mhm.
if it trends that way.
Yeah, yeah. So if you sign up for that, you're going to have to ride that out for a minute, partner, or find you an exit route.
Yeah, because my wife and I were just talking about this earlier today. We was talking about some financial things, and she had mentioned about money, whatever. But I also told her, I said, "Yeah, babe, I know one of the things I know about you. If you come into some extra, you just break me off. I don't ask for it. You just want to. When
Mhm.
not, I don't need it or anything. It's just a sign of saying, babe, we got each other
Yeah, yeah,
always." And that also gives me a level of security. Like, yeah, she got me. Even if I'm down, I know she's gonna be down with me, and she's gonna try to hold us down.
yeah.
But now in this 3 months, you like, hey, she, uh, sh I don't know. I could say this. She ain't never volunteered to buy you a cup of water.
You can get that for free out the sink.
First of all, we already got a problem. If you give me some tap water, we already have a conversation off the rip. I don't know. First of all, if you ain't got no
Wait, oh,
water,
so you too uppity to drink tap water,
you
sir?
got
You
you
gotta
damn right. You better have a filter through it. You better have a filter or something.
you better
I
have
don't.
some
I
Vouse water that huh?
Yeah. Only way tap water touch my mouth is when I rinse my toothbrush off, or I yawn in the shower because I'm tired. Them the only ways tap
Marcus
water
said,
touch these lips.
he ain't drinking out the faucet no more from the water
All right.
hose.
I'm go
You grew up in
online.
Alabama. You grew up in Alabama, Mississippi. Y'all was sitting there with the water.
Yeah, you see how that worked out, right? Go
Yeah,
online
yes, sir.
and read and Google all the chemicals in wherever you live at water.
Of
I
course.
bet I bet you drink up a bottle of water. I damn near want to bathe in it. But I
Yeah,
can't.
especially in modern times. I mean, growing up in the country, the water came from a well. It came straight out the ground. It was probably the purest, best water you can get. But nowadays, it's too many industrial complexes and data centers and everything else around our water that's being filtered through, and you don't want to drink that, not at
Mm.
all.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I
So
like I like my water in a glass, Voss bottle, please, unopened. Just bring it to me.
yeah, see, now who bougie?
I'm learning from you, sir.
Yeah, whatever. I drink some Kroger water.
He said Kroger bottled water.
All right. So, but we have to get a lot in these three phases.
Hmm.
And I guess I now say a lot, but you really have to be aware in these three phases. You have to let things progress so you can see all angles. You know.
And the person has to be of emotional intelligence, because if you're not, and you're going through these three phases of threes, and you meet a woman who is very interested in you, she's making her interest known, she is laying it on the table, and you just kind of taking that for granted as well. Yeah, I can get that anytime. I just string along for 5, 10 months. That's when you're gonna be worried about why she ain't calling you no more, and the mailman coming out on Sundays.
Yeah. So if a mailman's coming on Sundays, all I'm saying is there's a lot going on. Then you string along for 10 months
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
because if the mailman is coming along when I'm trying to kick it with you, there's something I'm not providing, or there's something that you're not willing to receive from me. Other than I'm a shitbag at the moment, but I think you that person needs to wipe the slate clean and start
Hmm.
fresh. Get rid of the man trying to string you on for 10 months, and get rid of mailman. Get a PO box.
PO box. They can't deliver mail to a
Right.
PO box, sir.
You so even as men, we can't truly receive the blessing of a mate if we still got other stuff around.
Of course.
You know, think about you can't put if you can't put good gas in the car if your tank full. You gotta burn that bad gas out. Get it out of there. That's gonna mess up your tank, mess up your car. Get it out of there. You know,
Hmm.
okay, we gotta flush the bullshit out so receive the good stuff. So
Yeah.
if in these first stages 1 and 2, you need, in my opinion, these are our opinions. This is what we are.
Hmm.
We need to start weeding out the bad stuff. You start making decisions who's best could fit in your life, or who you are most compatible with.
Yes.
Now, I have had a situation where I had two ladies I was dating at the same time.
Hmm. Okay. I understand.
Mhm. And I said to myself, I can't do both. And I don't. Yeah, I wasn't having sex with either one of them, but I
Hmm.
can't do both.
Okay.
I had to let one go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that in opinion, in hindsight, from after when I broke up from that when I chose, did I choose wrong? Strong possibility,
Why do you say that? Why do you think you choose wrong?
because I broke up with the other one, and
Okay.
and then that just kind of analyze why this one broke. I just had to analyze, like, okay, this one I chose did this and this. Could the other one,
Mhm.
what when she laid down what she wanted, and in
Yeah.
hindsight, even now me just think about it, guess what? It's kind of good I broke up with her, because where my mindset was at that time, that probably wouldn't have lasted.
Ooh, that's deep.
Yeah. Thankfully, my best blessing came 5 years ago.
Yes.
So But just in that time period, that time frame, I would have wasted somebody's time as I wasn't ready for that other one. Now the one I did choose, I'm not mad about it. It was
Mhm.
cool. It just wasn't what was needed for both of us or how that ended.
Yeah.
You know. So, but if I was able to look at it in these three phases, would I have done differently? Because I was still enamored by the physical,
Hmm.
not and also I wasn't checking in with myself.
Mm.
What does this look like in the future?
Yeah.
Am I just out here having fun? Yeah, I'm dating with pretty much exclusively, but I ain't looking at well, what's going down in the future? What's the plan? No, can she?
Yeah.
Do I want her?
What?
And eventually, do I want right? Do I want her to eventually tote this last name? Oh, no, what? That wasn't even a thought, but I should have been looking at like, okay, maybe I need to address that to her. What I didn't do it. What's your takeaway? Maybe if I did that, I could also could have maybe see where I went wrong or where we went wrong, where how it ended. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Now you're saying that the self check in, is this coinciding with the 333 rule, or is this something that you're doing once every so often?
Well, I think it can coincide with it because after 3 months, I should have said, "Yo, what we doing?"
Mhm.
I never said, "Are we exclusive or what are we doing?"
Mhm.
Because I also kind of led to the assumption, or I let myself to the assumption that we was more exclusive than we probably really was.
Ooh. Without saying it.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel you on that, bro. That's and that is something that, just reflecting, this conversation like that is it's flowed both ways, from my experience. There's conversations where I've come out and said that, hey, I would like to be exclusive after X amount of days, weeks, months, years, whatever it may be. And then there's situations where I've been approached with that question and I had to waver. I had to think about it. Am I ready for a relationship, or am I out here just having a good time? And I've had a response that goes both ways on that. And sometimes it works out. Sometimes it's a fun endeavor that ends sometimes not the way you expect it. And now that you put it in the aspect of this 333 rule, it becomes very clear as to why this is very important. You take out the assumptions, right? Because assumptions brings conflict, right? Because you're assuming things should go a certain way. You're assuming things should turn out like this. When you just have the conversation, have the talk, have the discussion, and then you can determine with clarity how you would like to approach, how you would like to be a part of, and then how you would like to proceed. And if it's not in alignment with what your agreement or what the other person's agreement, you can make a smooth transition away without investing a lot into it with open with the empty heart at the end if it doesn't work out, right? You can say, okay, just not in the line with what I'm thinking.
Right. You know, before we close it up, we also I
Hmm.
I, I want to make sure we know that we have to take in consideration the other person's time frame.
Yes.
Maybe they're moving toward that, but they ain't not ready yet.
Hmm.
Are we willing to, you know,
Wait it out.
wait it out? Is it worth it? Well, what I'm getting at is don't get caught up on the numbers.
Hmm.
focus on the phases.
Ooh, that's a good one. Say it again, sir.
You know, you want me to stutter. Don't focus on number, but focus on the phases.
I like that. That's good. That's good,
Yeah.
sir.
You know, check in with yourself, with the other person, analyze the situation. Is this what I saw at the beginning? Is this what they said they was going to be? This is what aligned with what I need for me to, to go higher as a person. These are what the phases should do. Allow things to develop with, what's the word I'm looking for? It allows you to develop with regulations. Meaning, if it's transforming, if you wanted to transform into a car and you getting a bicycle, this ain't the ride you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is all it is. Is you want to enjoy the ride, but watch what you're riding on.
Indeed. Indeed.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to rush what time will reveal, right? If it's true, if it's authentic, if it's original, it will reveal itself. And you just slow down, communicate, and build on something that can last. I think sometimes modern times, the now aspect of life, people want everything now. They want everything quick. They want everything fast. Want to get married tomorrow, want to get this done the next day. And sometimes you have to build the boat in the eyes of Noah to allow it to sustain 40 days and 40 nights. If you just build that thing overnight, everybody would drown.
Exactly. Yeah, so on that note, we trying here Data from the Real, we trying to build a foundation of positivity, clarity, and communication.
Yes, indeed.
We want you to always make sure you subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to come join us.
Mm-hmm.
Please join us next week for the ladies to go with some well-defined knowledge, wisdom, some healing approach, and to give you that good old smile, because they're gonna bring the fire and the noise.
Yeah.
So make sure you tune in next week. For Kia McLean, the poet, Sharmika Honor, the dark therapist. And with that being said, I'm Marcus Goodwin.
And I'm Don Jr. Lilly.
And we out.